Hey everybody! Today we're talking about the top 5 ways to stay cool at Disneyland because it's summer, it's hot, it's relevant. Here we go.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Yeah! Welcome to the Welcome to Happy podcast. I am Christopher Stoff. I don't know what my moniker is for this podcast yet. I'm Chris. Shannon, introduce yourself to the good people at home.
Hi friends, I'm Shannon. So happy to be here.
All right, Shannon. We're talking about the top 5 ways to stay cool. Why are we talking about the top 5 ways to stay cool at Disneyland?
Because it's summer.
Yeah.
Because it's hot.
It is.
And because it can be unbearable if you're not prepared.
Absolutely. We're recording this September 6th. And, you thought by September, normally things would be cooling down a little bit. We're headed to Oogie Boogie Bash this weekend, looking at like 95, 96 in the beginning of September. It's ridiculous. I think it should be borderline illegal. But anyways, it is what it is. So, let's compare our lists. For the record, we don't talk about these beforehand. It's a surprise to each of us.
I did want to give some background. We're from Arizona, so we are used to it being hot, 100 and almost 20 this whole summer.
Yeah.
So when we say it's hot in the 90s, it's because it is hot. It's because the sun's beating down. It's a different kind of hot. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there for some background.
Yeah. We're used to Arizona. It's cliche. It's a dry heat, all that good stuff. But it's true. And then you go to Disneyland, and you're just sitting in the line. You're sitting in the queue. If you're in the direct sun, you're walking around. You're drinking Diet Cokes and sugary drinks that don't exactly hydrate you. It can take its toll. Yes. So very important stuff. All right.
Let's get started.
Sound effects, professional organization. We're right. Here we are. So, number 5, top 5 ways to stay cool.
Number 5.
All right. Here's what I have for my number 5 ways to stay cool. This is a little one, but it's swing by the granite balls that are in either Tomorrowland. They have the big granite ball that has all the water, that's pushing up under it. I guess it says that there's like the water would shoot up like 150 feet in the air if the granite ball wasn't there. So they got one in Tomorrowland, and if you're in DCA, they also have one there along Pixar Pier, right outside the boardwalk games. Yeah. And it's kind of a cool place because, it's mostly kids. Like there's always kids swarming around the place. They don't really have the splash pad going in Toontown just yet as we're recording this. So, the kids go there, they smear themselves all over the ball. They, dunk their heads on it. They have a great time. And then if you're an adult, you can go by there too and just kind of get a quick little, dousing. I don't know. Throw it on your neck, throw it on your face. I don't know. I think the water's sanitary. I would figure. But it's not much, but it's something. It's small. It's refreshing. Top 5, the number 5 way to stay cool. Swing by the granite balls. Your thoughts?
I think that's an underappreciated piece. I didn't even think of that. But our son absolutely loves it. He comes back soaked anytime he goes to those at either of the parks. The kids love it, and water slinging all over the place. And absolutely a underrated find for staying cool.
There we go. All right. Your number 5. What do we have?
So my number 5 is probably a no-brainer, basic, but stay hydrated. When you're hydrated, your body regulates that temperature a little bit easier. There are water filling stations all throughout the parks. There's lots of videos and podcasts and stuff on YouTube, not podcasts, but videos on YouTube and stuff like where to find these. We also have some videos that will be coming out on where to refill your bottles. But bring that refillable water bottle. It's much cheaper, and being hydrated helps so much. And then we even sometimes bring our little spray bottle that has a fan, and you can fill that up and spray yourself throughout the day as well from those water filling stations. So
Yeah, no, that's great. And actually, if you go into the Disneyland app while you're there and you punch in like water dispensers, water fountains, I think there's a number of different terms you can punch in there. And then on the interactive map there, they'll show you all the different places where you can refill your water bottles and stay cool.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right, moving on to number 4.
Number 4.
Love that. All right. Number 4, I have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, right? So at first, like, this is just kind of common sense advice, like, go to a ride that's inside. Yeah, you know? But I say Mickey and Minnie's more than anything because their queue that they have for that ride is amazing. There's lots of little things to look at as you go through there. The air conditioning is always nice and chilly in there. And it's not just being inside, but as you walk through the queue, it's an interactive sort of visual experience to kind of check out everything that's along there. And then obviously once you're inside the ride, you got a good 10, 15 minutes before you actually even see the sun again. So Mickey and Minnie's, of all the rides that you could go cool down on, that's my favorite one to visit. Yeah, there we go. How about your number 4?
My number 4, so I kind of put these in backwards order. But as you're booking your stay, if you go frequently, this is probably easier to do. But as you're booking your stay, look for a hotel that has a pool or a water park on property. There's nothing worse than being hot with a family and trying to make it through the day and get past that point. But our last trip, we booked a hotel this summer that had a pool, and we left probably around noon. And we went back to the hotel. The kid and I went swimming and were able to like cool off and just kind of enjoy cooling down a bit. And then I think around 4, we went back to the park. So we took a big chunk of time out, went swimming, cooled down. The kids got to do something a little bit different besides standing in line and that kind of stuff. And it was just a nice mental break to be out from the crowds and that kind of stuff. So if you are able to, and you have that privilege to be able to be right across from the park, I definitely suggest that. We will be doing that again probably this upcoming trip as well, since it's going to be in the 90s.
I agree. I agree so much that...
Number 2.
Oh, wait, not number 2.
Number 3.
Still working on the sound effects, kids. Number 3, mine was go to the hotel midday. I know this I was a little conflicted about, right? Because you're like, how to stay cool at Disneyland? Go away from Disneyland. And obviously, this one's a little bit harder, right? If this is like your one trip of the year, you're there for, a day or two, and you really want to maximize your time, really might not be worthwhile. But, and I've traditionally been one of those people who's like, from the opening of the park till you shut down and they kick you out and every moment's magical, get as much time in the park as you can, and to go home in the middle of the day is sacrilege. But the past couple times we went and did that, it was actually so refreshing to go back. And even if you don't have a pool and you're just going back in the middle of the day just to go back to your nice cool hotel and relax and regroup, it's so nice. So, and a quick plug here, YouTube channel. We're going to make a series of videos on Harbor. I don't know what we're going to call it. Harbor Street Hotel Review, something along those lines. So each time we go, we like to try to stay at a different hotel that's there along Harbor Boulevard or to the south, like the West End or the Residence Inn or something like that. So each one of those we go to, we kind of take little snapshots and B-roll and overviews so that you get a good sense of what each hotel has to offer. And pools and walkability are definitely 2 big key items there. So number 3 was your number 4, and your number 3, Shannon, is...
My number 3, again, sorry, I didn't put these in order. I'm learning. So my number 3 is easy. It's get a nice cold treat for the kids and yourself. Excuse me. Some of mine are, for Grayson at least, for our son, is the at Edelweiss. Did I say that properly?
Edelweiss, it depends on how culturally correct you want to get. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look that up when we're done. But they have the most amazing frozen slushies, and you can get 2 different flavors, and then the second flavor is like a Mickey head on top of it. So not only is it a nice, cool treat and it's delicious, but it looks cool too and makes for some great photos.
Very Instagrammable, right?
We have some,
yeah,
yeah.
unless you have a picky kid who then you mix the flavors and your kid is like, I don't like them mixing together like ours might have done.
Was.
But
I had to drink it. But,
yeah.
Another
The
cool
sacrifices
treat,
you
the
make as a parent.
sacrifices. I mean, that's what moms do. If you're at California Adventures, they have the adorable snowman lemon ice cream, which is fantastic for grown-ups or children. And they also have
Really bright yellow number 40 dye that just like really sinks into your lips and your tongue. It's great
but
stuff.
It's delicious.
It's good.
So we're not talking nutrition right now, okay?
And
We're
if
talking
you're
about keeping
you're
cool.
over 21, also they'll put a little special.
Well, that's on my
Yeah,
thing
there
as
you go.
well. If you're a grown up, they have a chili lime frozen. No, they don't have the chili lime frozen margarita. Pardon me. The frosty parfait with the blue. I don't know.
Curacao, Curacao.
I can never say it right. We've been trying for a
Blue
year.
Curacao. Let's roll with that. We'll like leave it the podcast this part open. It'll be like with the and then like the voice coming in the edit. Blue Curacao.
Will fix it for me. But for a nice grown up drink, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get a child's cool down beverage there or item there as well as a adult one, and they are amazing and they are tasty and they're worth standing in that line for. So that's my number 3.
Fantastic.
Great.
Oh,
great,
my
great.
my sound effect is not up to par. That was Anchorman. Great story, compelling and rich. We'll fix that for the next episode, kids. All right, moving on.
Number 5.
Oh my,
floor.
I am so off.
We need to practice.
We need to practice this.
Number 2.
There we go. See, if you're watching on the YouTube, like our little mixer is down here, and the print is in this like little 5-point font that's like 4 feet from my eyeballs here, and so I'm not able to read. I gotta learn just by position where these numbers are. Anywho, moving on to my number 2 selection. My number 2 selection was shop early in the day. So you finish up, right? Everything has this experience. You're moving out of the park. It's closing down. The last ride has ended at like 11 o'clock or midnight, and then the stores are open for another hour, so they're all crowded. And this is the coolest time in the park to go and do all your shopping. And if you can do your shopping in the middle of the day, you deal with less crowds. So you don't have to be elbow to elbow with all those people at the end of the day in the Emporium or whatever shop you are along Main Street there. And then also, we discovered last trip there, they got a great system. If you buy something in the middle of the day, you don't need to lug it around Disneyland the whole day. Usually that's the thing. You don't want to get like a bunch of sweatshirts and it's giant Mickey pumpkins. Now it's like, Halloween time and everything and haul those around. What you can do, you just leave them right there at the checkout stand, whatever you call that, the register. You tell them, you say, hey, I want to leave these here. Can I, give you my name, number? They take down the information, and you go back at the end of the day and you pick up whatever it is you bought. And, I think we took some footage of it. We'll put together a short little video. We'll pop it, YouTube channel plug. We'll pop it up on the YouTube channel, just a quick little, probably a 5-minute video, kind of walks you through the process of how to, get your souvenirs, leave them there for the end of the day. I think I've made my point. I've said like 4 or 5 different times now.
Yeah. Question though, is it any checkout or is it specific checkouts?
That is a great question. And I think somebody that was a true Disneyland expert would be able to answer that. Disneyland expert here. The locations are the Disneyland Resort Stroller Shop, Elias and Company, and Disneyland California Adventure, Pioneer Mercantile, Port Royale, and the Star Trader.
But I will chime in on this. It was amazing because, like he said, how many times do you buy things and then you pull them around and then you lose them, or you've just got that extra bag and you want to go on the roller coaster, but you have nowhere to put it. And so it was so nice to be able to just buy it, leave it there. I filled out a little form. It took 5 seconds, maybe. It was name, phone number, address, etc. And then they give you your copy, and then you come back. I think it's an hour before the park closes to get your items, and then you're out. So I loved it.
Boom, done. Yeah, and the headline benefit, you shop during the hottest parts of the day instead of the coolest parts of the day. All right, Shannon.
My number 2 is a few things. It's more like an area in California Adventures. They've got a really cool indoor space that has like 4 or 5 different activities for the kids and parents to enjoy. My favorite within there is the animation studio. You can go in there and there's an actual artist that will teach you how to draw a Disney character on this nice big piece of paper. You get to take it home at the end of the day. They do step by step. It's for all ages and all artistic abilities, which is lovely. Each half an hour, I think, is a different character. Is that?
Yeah,
think
every
it's half
30
an
minutes
hour.
they swap it.
So they have it inside. You have to go inside. They've got it all laid out for the day. We usually go and like snap a photo to see who's coming up, and then we try to come back for those ones that we want to do. But it's a great activity. You've got a souvenir. We have a couple hung up downstairs that are sunded as art. But down there they also have Turtle Talk with Crush.
Yeah.
Turtle Talk with Crush, which is a fun interactive experience. The kids get a chance to, hear Crush talk with audience members. He talks with a lot of the kids. It's just really silly and fun, and again, air conditioned, which is lovely. And then there's a few other things down there, like a Anna and Elsa meet and greet. There's the villain component. There's the Beast's library. So there's a few really cool things. If you've never been down there, it's kind of tucked away. Highly recommend popping in, whether it's hot or not. Still a great activity.
You bet. Such a great choice, Shannon. Such a great choice. I think the theme of this podcast is stealing Christopher's thunder because
Number 1.
Animation Academy. And with a shout out to Turtle Talk with Crush as well. So everything you just said, +1 on that. And no surprise, near the top of your list is top 9. I think it's at the top of a lot of articles and other people's recommendations. It's just such a great space that you don't have to wait in line for a ride. You usually can get in there and do whatever you need to do. If the one session's booked up, the next one's starting a half hour later. So it's a great place to be. And I say Turtle Talk with Crush actually. And Animation Academy, good what's the word I'm searching for? Redoability factor. Yeah, let's go with that phrase. The Animation Academy, again, all different characters. You can choose your favorite. And then Turtle Talk with Crush, we've been in it now, 8, 9, 10 times. So it's okay. You kind of hear the same jokes after that many times, but you could easily do it 2, 3, 4 times. And because there's so much audience participation, each show is a little bit unique, and sometimes the audience is half the entertainment, even if the setups and the jokes are kind of predictable and the same from time to time. So that is my number 1. So heading into Shannon's number 1.
My number 1 is the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail at California Adventures.
Good one.
While it is outside Redwood, there's lots of big trees that provide a ton of shade. There's so many activities for the kids to do down there. There's rope bridges, there's zip lining. They did some like little ducky races in the creek that kids can like race and get a little certificate if they win. There's a rock wall to climb. I mean, there's just so many things for the kids to do. And again, it's shaded. It's a nice kind of rest for the grown-ups. You can go find a spot, have a seat, and watch the littles kind of run and do their thing.
An adult beverage.
Grab an adult beverage and go have a seat and kick back while you're there. But it's kind of out of the way and hidden, so not too much traffic as of yet, but definitely a nice hidden place to go cool off during the warmer days.
Absolutely, I agree. And it's so it's an area that you could walk by and just look at it at surface value or at its kind of surface appearance and be like, oh, okay, that's a neat little area. But it is really has a lot of hidden gems in there if you spend the time to go through there. And again, if you got kids that are in that like 3-year-old to 11-year-old range, like they could just spend all day in there.
Chip and Dale are always
Chip and
over
Dale
there.
running around
I got
doing
to meet
photo
Mulan
ops.
over there.
Different
A lot of
character
cool
meet and greets all the
characters over
time.
there, yeah.
Great. All right. I think that's about it. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today as we, this is really our first real episode. So, if you liked it, great. Please subscribe. Go check out the YouTube channel, all that good stuff. If you didn't like it, then just give us time. We'll get better eventually, right? We'll have to after we do enough of these.
There's only like one way to go, and that's up.
We think.
hope so.
Well, we'll try our best. Anyways, thanks for coming by, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We will see you next time on Welcome to Happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland has now ended its normal operating day. We hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.